Welcome back to Hometown TCG. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Josh.
And I'm John.
And we heard you guys in our comments section, and we are back with our budget deck tech series. And now we're doing the Arc Heroes, and we're starting with Dash. Before we get into that, we got a big announcement.
That's right. We are having our huge live stream event to celebrate all our brand new subscribers. It's going to be January 22nd at 7 p.m. So we're going to be chatting anything about Fab, really. We're going to be interacting. We're going to be doing giveaways with unlimited Monarch boxes. It's just going to be a good time,
It's going to be a great time. 7 p.m. Central on the 22nd. We will see you guys there. But let's get into this Dash deck.
Right.
I'm pumped for this one, man.
That's right. This deck, it can put out some serious pressure. So there are two ways to build Dash. There's the more control version, and there's the aggro boost Dash. So this is going to be the boost Dash version, where you're just trying to hit after hit after hit after hit.
Yeah, you're trying to do a lot of attacks. You're trying to keep this constant pressure, but it is kind of a pseudo combo deck where you're looking to set up a massive turn with maximum velocity. So unlike other combo decks that are kind of back foot and defensive until they combo off, you guys want to be front foot. You want to be hitting your opponent until you can really put through that damage.
That's right. It's kind of unique in that way, in where it can do damage even without its big combo, which it makes it so fun and interesting.
It does, and what helps that is one of it, the core pieces of the deck is actually the weapon. The weapon in this deck is fantastic. So all these points make this a really great deck, but because we're so aggro, we do have a couple weaknesses, and the first one is with the boost mechanic itself. We can deck out.
Right, it's kind of like Chain. You're banishing cards off the top of your deck, and if your opponent blocks you out, that can be a problem at times.
It can, and because you don't want to defend, you want to rely on your armor, but this deck doesn't really have much in the way of defense for its armor.
Yeah, it just doesn't defend that well because it doesn't have the armor, and you don't have defense reactions in the deck. So it's just pressure, pressure, pressure is your game.
It's all front foot, all pressure, and like we said, since we're a pseudo combo deck, any kind of combo deck can struggle if they don't get the combo off. So that's our real last weakness here.
All right, so let's kind of get into some key cards. I think the first thing we got to talk about is the weapon. Now, in the control version of Dash, this is like the core piece of your game plan.
It's so oppressive.
And because it's so good, we have to take advantage of it here too. If you get out Induction Chamber as your first item at the start of the game, it allows you to use your pistol twice for 2 damage each for 3 pitch.
Yeah, so a single blue, you can attack twice every turn with that pistol, and as we've always talked about, 2 separate attacks for 2 are slightly more valuable than a single attack for 4 with no hit effect.
Exactly, and what's cool about that is you're banishing so many cards off the top. To be able to do that damage while pitching cards to the bottom of your deck can help you mitigate that loss.
Exactly. It's going to bring some of those resources back around and really help you stay alive in the longer games. But the meat and potatoes of this deck is maximum velocity, right? You got to get maximum velocity off if you want to feel like you're going to take this game home.
Yeah, 2 costs for 10 damage is just massive. So you're trying to set that up. But in order to set that up, you'll see you have to get 3 boost attacks off in a game, and that's no easy matter. So we're looking for, we're filling our deck with boost cards. That's the meat and the potatoes of the deck.
Yes, for sure.
But ideally, you want to get the ones off like 0 to 60 that cost 0.
Or zipper hit that costs 1.
Right. Those are your best options to be able to have a chance to play that card, maximum velocity.
Exactly. And without those, you might find yourself in a position where you struggle for pitch. But we do have a couple things in the deck to kind of help you in that scenario. I believe Teklo-Core and Hyperdriver, right?
Yes.
Are 2 items that can help you for pitch.
Those 2 are invaluable for the deck because they help get you that big turn. And, I mean, even if you're not doing the big turn when it's out there, it's still huge. It's probably an extra attack you can do on your turn just from the extra pitch.
Yeah, it's an extra attack. It's extra resource. And, guys, you know from Findell Spring Tunic, free resource is good. So these cards are key, and remember, if you're going to take these games home, you're going to need that maximum velocity turn. We are a pseudo combo deck, so try to set up for that, but we do warn you about arsenaling that maximum velocity, right?
Yeah, so part of the strategy of this is you need to get a good card in your arsenal to get off the turn. But if you put maximum velocity in your arsenal, there's a chance you never get it off, and you're just out a card the entire game.
Yes, and if you have to play the entire game 1 card down in an aggro deck, you can find that's extremely difficult, and that could be the end, right? So you have to be careful about the utilization of that arsenal. It's almost better to arsenal, you know, your 0 to 60 or your zipper hit and wait for the right hand to come around.
A red 0 to 60 might be your best bet because it's the safest option. And when you draw maximum velocity, if you have the 0 to 60, you have a better chance of getting it off.
Exactly. So just a couple tips when playing this deck, because like we said, we'd hate to have you guys have the biggest part of the combo stuck where you can't use it. And that kind of takes us into strategy with this deck and how we're going to beat our opponent. And it comes down to just keeping up that pressure, right?
Yeah, you're doing so much, they can't fully block everything. So every time you're attacking, you're trying to push through 1, 2 damage as you go. So that way, even if they keep blocking, they're still low on life to set up your big turn that can just finish them off.
Exactly. Just like our big attack decks, right? We want to chip away, whether we're chipping away at pieces of armor or chipping away at health, it's going to make that finishing blow a lot easier. And another thing that really makes it easier is the weapon twice a turn.
Right. So you can, we talked about mitigating your losses in that if you have an attack for 4, like let's say you have your 0 to 60 in the deck or a yellow zipper hit, and you go to attack them with that, if you have the pitch, instead it would be better to do your weapon twice, same amount of damage, but you're saving a card.
How about say, and you hold that 0 to 60 for your big turn when you're trying to go off.
The weapon also, if you have an extra pitch, it's a great one to just finish on.
Exactly. So the weapon can put you in a situation where, like Ira, you're pushing through damage at the end of the game because maybe your maximum velocity comes up, 2, 3 health short. That double attack with the weapon is going to be great. And you'll find people don't want to trade their resources for a 2 damage attack.
Yeah, blocking 3 on a 2 damage attack doesn't feel great.
It doesn't feel great. So is there anything else you want to touch on with this deck before we close?
Yeah, we'll finish with the maximum velocity combo. We already talked about it a bit on how to set it up in the arsenal.
Okay.
But one other thing is you have to make sure you get one of those items out. So trying to get that Tekla core, that hyperdriver out is going to be essential to make it happen. So card in the arsenal, item out, and
go to town,
Let it rip.
Let it rip. Do all that damage. Guys, if you get a chance to play this deck, let us know what you think in the comments. This is a fun deck for a budget deck. You're going through your deck. You're doing a lot. The pressure's on to finish this game. This deck is a blast. I've had a blast with Dash.
Yeah. So, actually, one more thing.
Oh, my goodness. All right.
I think we wanted to add in, what would be your next steps if you were trying to take this deck to the next level?
Oh, that's right. Yes.
I think a lot of the core deck itself is right there. The next step would really be the equipment upgrades. So you'd be looking at Tekla Foundry Heart is the next big upgrade.
Right, and that's going to put you guys into place. Tekla Foundry Heart does give you a lot of value in a deck like this. So it's an expensive upgrade, guys, but if you're looking to make a single upgrade, that might be your next move.
That'll be it. So I think it's already really powerful as it is, but adding that extra armor will make a difference.
It will. And this deck, the price, by the way, $75.35 on TCG Player, and actually with the Arc Unlimited being re-released again, it's back out into the wild, we expect this price to go down.
Yeah, probably in the next week. So it just got released in the last few days, so I'll be excited to see that. We'll be following it. And be sure to let us know in the comments how you're doing with this deck, if you have any questions about it. And until next time, my name is John.
And I'm Josh.
And we'll see ya.